they are a government group, I would have a problem with that because government need to preserve, encourage, promote Ghanaian tradition, Ghanaian culture. I have nothing wrong about contemporary, but government should not just look. When the Art Council started, Eddie, the Symphony Orchestra was the primary focus, right? They established the Symphony
Right.
Orchestra. Baho was the
Yes.
director, was a powerful figure
Yep.
in music. And even though Baho, man, if you talk to him personally, man, he will talk about, look, you need to hear Sogo and hear the Sogo, then you move. It's packed. But he was not promoting that in the government programs that
At
he was leading.
all. At
That
all.
was, but he was promoting the Symphony Orchestra. Baho
Yeah.
inspired a lot of do tradition, but he did not promote the traditional music when he was the head of the Art Council. You remember that? Baho
I do.
promoted the symphony. Believe me, I came from a
Yeah.
generation following the. Our generation was young people who questioned the whole westernization of our culture. They did not question it. They obeyed quietly and tried to adjust themselves to it. Nkatias are, Professor J. Nkatias are like that. In Ewe, we call them Yavutafanola. Eddie, do you hear that?
Yeah.
How can you
Yeah.
translate Yavutafanola in Chui? Yavutafanola.
Adi obroni eniema yo. Ona boni
In
profo
Ga.
chemeyo. Ona boni profo chemeyo. Wonta ni wo fe tomo. Amen.
Okay.
Ona.
Yeah, they
Woni
are
bi
black
fe
faces
fe
representing the
tomo.
white people.
Yes. Yes.
That is
Ojomo
why
fe
they did in
yen.
their generation that way. Our generation questioned them and decided that we'd rather be hungry in the streets of Accra, but doing traditional programming than join them. So that is why at the Art Center, there are so many cultural groups representing so many different cultures in Ghana. Every evening they're down there practicing and they recruit people who are not being paid. They're doing it for the love of it. They were the one preserving the culture. Those groups that we used to call amateur group, I don't know where the name came from. It's just because they want to differentiate them from
It is because
people like
it is it is
mm,
because those people were not paid, including ourselves. We
yeah,
were not paid. That's why we
Wow.
are
by
called
the
the amateur
government.
groups. And it seems to
But
them
that it
that
does not mean
now that we
they
are
are
learning.
better. I was a member of several groups that they call amateur groups.
Yes.
First, African Theater Troupe, the Maniac Group. That's why I met George Ikunu.
Yes.
George was a young man and he was hungry to learn and represent culture. I met him and we became friends. As a matter of fact, we became more than friends. We brothers. We stayed in the street of Accra and fought hard to survive. But then we will try to find ways to do different things. The Voices of German group, I was part of it. That was Mr. Kwaku. Then So Cultural Troupe
Yep.
in college. That woman was a rich Makola woman, businesswoman, and very rich. she hired George and I to come and train the kids in her house. So the young kids will come down to that house and they become what? African Unity Group. I even forgot the name. So many of the present
Unity culture groups.
started from there. Niama,
Yes, sir.
our Miss, the late, what is her name? The board member who passed away.
Board member, Mom Elizabeth.
Elizabeth started from there.
Yeah.
Our colleague,
Yeah.
that's
Elizabeth
where she
Apia.
started from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
not
So
asking. Uncle Sika, I'm coming. I'm not asking so much question because I think the history is coming by itself, and there are a lot of formations are coming. So I'm really enjoying the informations because this information that you guys are giving to us is very important, and this is what I wish we, the performing arts, coming through from the drum and dance, can listen to these kind of formations because our history has not been projected on the net that we can know how all this came about. And as we are all saying, or Uncle Siki is saying at the boat, you are saying, it's interesting that our leaders, those start the whole movement, try to be like Europeans on the stage. That's what I'm understanding. And nobody
and
questioning it.
there is still that mentality. During that time,
Yes. Yeah.
some of us, I love to play guitar, acoustic guitar, and sing. I don't even want to touch guitar again because I feel like I'm betraying my ancestors. The drum, my drumstick, to me was very powerful, and I don't want to betray. So, if you do highlight, oh, you're doing elite music, everybody give you honor. You do traditional music. If the academic people at Legon don't call you dondology, dondo, the talking drum that we put from the north, yeah, dondology. As it's they are trying to demean you by doing that. I still experience that in social media when I'm debating Ghanaians. Ghanaians, when they are losing debate, they start insults. I know that. So you can curse
Oh,
me as much as you
right.
go to win the debate first, then I'll curse you like a Makola woman. I know how to do that too. Now, the thing with the way we began in a condition of depression. If you go into the dance hall at Legon, Ghana Dance Ensemble Dance Hall, you see people, they are used to the depression, so they don't even know they are depressed.
It's true.
Like what this young woman was talking about Saturday.
Charity.
And
Her
then there
name is
is this
Charity.
fear. Yeah, there is this fear. I know all that. I was there. Nobody can tell me that I did not experience all that. I did experience the depression, but I did not know how depressed I was until I left it and came to America. It took me several years to get out of that depression. That depression, that because I wanted to drum, I wanted to represent my culture, but I want to do it as a profession so that I can make a living doing it. But there is no way they are going to allow you to make a living doing it. They are paying you wages that nobody can live on. I know that those same conditions still exist. First, on Saturday, after I saw Agobini cultural art, Anchor TV, when Niyama was interviewing that beautiful sister. And for the first time, she's humble. She's not afraid to talk about how, what she was going through. Humbly. 30 cities a month. When she lived in Pokwasi,
300
Eddie,
UK, 300 cities, not 30.
yeah, I know. But the economy changes. Things are more expensive now than during our time.
Oh, that I agree, yes.
Yeah, so the cost of living
Yeah.
is now
But
way up.
Tite,
So,
Tite, if I can
yes,
interrupt, my question now is, we've gone through all this up to this present day as we are discussing. What can we do to help establish that
that,
Ghanaian traditional drumming, singing, and dance and music is the lifeblood, our heritage? We have to convince those in authority. And how can we do it? Because
those in
with this
authority,
present generation, if you tell them even you are doing agbeko, but this is not the way you should do agbeko, you say, Nakano achomi. This is all that I was taught. This is what I know.
yes,
Who taught you
yes,
that?
they
You
are
will tell
right.
stories.
They are
They
right.
will tell you
First, the
you are
delivery system is
old
faulty
man.
now. When it comes down to tradition, Yakubu Adi,
May
he
he
was my
rest in
friend.
peace.
Yeah, may he rest in peace. Was very adamant about keeping Ga culture together, the retention. So even when he came to America, he represented Ga culture
Yes.
and brought a lot of young people. They're no more young anymore, that were trained and work in Ghana Dance Ensemble or the Council Folkloric Company. He recruited some few of them and worked with them. Now, his hope is that they can continue to remain the vanguard of the preservation of Ghana culture. Now, I know Sister Amina, who is a board member of Agobini Cultural Art, has an organization that is continuing the legacy of Yakub.
That's good.
So, Ghanaians, we all need to come together. That's what Agobini Cultural Art is trying to do, Eddie. If we all come together as an organization and put in our vision, we have offices right now in Ghana and we have some staff there. We need to pay them. They can't just be in the office and working for nothing. So it does not take that much. Even if you have a city, 100 cities, donate. 1,000 cities, donate. You see the information underneath our pictures here going. Eddie, that is where we are right now. That is how we can change the future. We can change the future by having an organization and planning what we do and do it together. We have people on the ground, people like George Ikunu, who has been a veteran and a pioneer. George has led what I would call the only real professional dance company in the West, Ajido Pan-African Dance Ensemble. Doing it in England for several years as he did was possible because of the support of government. The British Art Council support the art. What about the Art Council of Ghana? When is the Art Council of Ghana going, hey, You're trying to copy the Europeans all the time anyway. So why don't you copy the British Art Council and how they support the art by creating funding opportunities for the groups and the artists?
Because CK, they don't know what they are doing. They don't know what they are doing. They don't understand what culture means to Ghanaians. They don't know who they are. They
I
don't know
know. I
who
keep
they
saying it
are.
all the time. The other day, George asked me, am I still saying the same old thing? Drumming and dancing is the blood and bone of Ghanaian culture.
Oh, yes.
Without
Yeah,
it,
that's very true.
the
That's a blood
collective,
of Ghanaian culture heritage.
emotional culture of the Ghanaian is incomplete. Drumming and dancing, traditional drumming and dancing, is the blood and bone of Ghanaian culture. I'm not saying high
That's
life is
very
not
true.
important. I still dance to the old high lives, and I work with a lot of great high life composers. And as a matter of fact, when I came down to America, the Ramblers Dance Band, Jerry Hanson, was my friend. We all came together on the same airplane. So I love high life, and high life is a good subculture, a Ghanaian subculture, the new culture. But the traditional culture must also be preserved. That is where our spirits, that's what carry our spirits. I know that some of the young people who don't know who Sike Ladzekpo is and what I have done when I was in Ghana. I'm going to tell you that it doesn't take a lot to make a difference. For a while now, the tradition that is sustaining Ghanaian cultural drummers and dancers is Peshi. Peshi is wakekeeping. And do you know how that started? George don't always like to take credit for things that he has done. One day we just finished rehearsal at the art center and we were going home walking and there was a funeral. And as usual, they sing the Christian songs for 5 minutes and everybody was just sleeping. We look at it, we say, that's not Ghanaian culture. That's not the way we bury our dead. We keep wake with them with drumming and dancing until the next day. So we went back and picked our drum. It's very easy to summon our people. And we started drumming. The Biri family said we brought devil. So they came and beat the shit out of us and kick us out. We just went to the next street and set up the drum and play until daybreak. At dawn, the Biri family sent us 2 bottles of akweteshi. We don't drink akweteshi and we need money for food. So we sold the akweteshi and used the money for drink. From being beaten up, people started inviting us to wakekeeping because we bring the crowd. That became a money-making situation for the culture. We did it. George Ikunu don't like taking credit, but I am going to take the credit for him. He was the one who initiated it, and I said, okay, let's do it. That was one of them. Another one of them that you can do is playing at the state hotels in the nightclubs. They will bring agogo dancers from abroad, from America. When the people who came down to the nightclub are all from the West. They don't want to go and see it. They say even an inferior version of their go-go dancers they see always in America. They want to see Ghanaian tradition. When we wanted to play down there, they will refuse. They will allow the rock and roll people. I don't mind them making some money, but they will not allow us cultural drumming and dancing people. So we win. As a matter of fact, I will put Yakubu Adi into this because it was him and I that we went to Continental Hotel. I don't know. The name is changed now. Hotel Tulip, they're calling it now. Continental Hotel used to be government hotel. The nightclub was a big one. And then we went to talk to the manager, Mr. Adebio or something like that. And he refused explaining. Then I saw Mr. Aka. I worked at State Hotel Corporation, the headquarters before. And I know Mr. Aka, the managing director for State Hotel Corporation. So we went to him and said, you know what? These people who are in this nightclub don't want to see those go dancers. They want to see traditional music and dancers. He said, but then why are you guys not doing it? He said, the manager will not hire us. So he called the manager and ordered the manager to hire us. But do you know what our pay was? They pay all of us a bottle of Fanta and a slice of egg sandwich. George, if you are listening, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Our pay was not money. It was a slice of egg sandwich slashed into a half. So you have that half and one Fanta. All the dancers and the drummers. But we still keep fighting and keep fighting until they start paying us a little bit. So if you perform traditional drumming and dancing in the hotels, know that some of the pioneers paved the way. So not that we did not fight, but our situation was so depressing, believe me, that there is not so much we can do, but we still keep fighting. And remember, the same little money that we make is the same little money we're going to use to go to research, to learn some new dances. We even sent George and Agbali to Dahomey to go and learn much more about Azogun. And they brought a lot. Yeah, go ahead. They brought a lot of knowledge and information. So, Eddie, you remember those days? It was so depressing.
Yes.
We were all sick in the head, but we don't even know it. You know, when people are being punished, the same thing that the Europeans were doing to us, when they have left, our own people did multiply by 100 and did worse to us. It's just black faces enforcing European colonization rules. And we still have that happening in Ghana. How come? I'm still going to repeat it every time I speak in public. How come we have been independent for so many years now? All African countries, there is not a single country that initiate a study of how colonization policies affected our minds. Being told that what our parents were teaching us was sin, demonic, and then we go home, our parents are teaching us that. We come to school, they say what our parents were teaching us is demonic. From one extreme to the next. That is how we all grew up. The generation that is ruling Africa right now, we are all confused generations. I admit that I was a confused person. And I seek to heal myself by talking about it. Even right now, as I'm talking about it, I'm trying to heal myself.
I can feel it. I can feel it. At the boat,
We are all sick.
I want Uncle Sige to take just 2 minutes to relax a little bit. Uncle Edibot, what are
Yes.
your experience during that time? Are you also confused? Because these are some of the things that if we don't talk it now, nobody will talk it. And this kind of topic, when we reach there to talk, it becomes very, very difficult for people to talk. I'm really happy with Uncle Sige being genuinely and free to express himself. What are your thoughts?
Well, you see, personally, I am always troubled by the way, our own people don't as a matter of fact, appreciate our own lifestyle, our life, our music, the way we eat, the way we put on our clothes. They don't appreciate it. That's the problem. If all of us now, here, right now in Ghana, you go to some people's houses, they don't speak their own dialect. They speak English only. You go to our schools, they say vernacular is prohibited. How can you do that? How do you expect us to understand our own culture if you are telling us your language is prohibited? People are not learning their own language in their own country, but they are learning foreign language. I remember when I was in high school, they said we shouldn't speak Chi, Ga, Ewe, Hausa, Dagbani, you name it. But we were forced to learn Latin, Greek, and French. So I personally, I refuse to learn French and Latin. No, I refuse to learn French because I said I'm not going to do French. But with the Latin, I know the English language comes from Latin. And my father wanted me to be a lawyer, so I said, okay, I'll try and do that. We're learning Greek also. You imagine that?
Wow.
And our masters were in agreement with the colonial masters. Right now, it's happening. So not until, as I've been saying, not until we change our lifestyle, start teaching our kids from the houses to kindergarten, from kindergarten to primary, middle, secondary, and even university, we can never change our lifestyle. No, not until this is done in our schools. And those who have been to the Institute of African Studies should go into the schools and teach what they've learned, but they should try and learn the traditional values, not contemporary values.
I mean, this is interesting.
You
I mean,
got it, CK?
the reason why I'm
That that might be too easy said, but believe me, Ghana is in turmoil right now because the leaders are all very confused and they don't even know that they are sick. If we have done, let me give you an example of something. I was in England with George, and the National Dance Company of Jamaica came to perform. Oh, we were all in the theater in premium seats, in good seats, and they started. The whole thing was all ballet. Do you know what the British were saying? The British audience? Man, they said they wanted to be independent, and we gave them independent, but they still want to behave like us, and poorly too. That's what the British were saying about their ballet, the Jamaican Dance Company. Their last number was Kumina. I will never forget that concert. Until they started doing Kumina, which was their traditional dance, the whole theater became alive. We wanted to please our colonial masters by trying to behave like them. We choreographed dances on stage. I know that the proscenium is a very limiting place, but you can still use the proscenium and put traditional dances. You can't say because it's a proscenium, so I'm going to create the dances like as if it is ballet and this thing or look like modern dance, like doing a Sichi become Opoku's choreography. I love Opoku. He was my mentor. But that choreography, I look at it and I say, man. But then if you see Sichi in tradition, it's different. Not all that like a bird and this thing. Now people were dancing and singing and dancing, but not. I mean, why do they want? Why do we want to be the Europeans so much? We need to stop it because they are laughing at us. They are laughing at us and saying, "Oh, they wanted to be independent, and we gave the independent." but they still want to behave like us and poorly too. That's what I heard them saying about the Jamaican National Dance Company. Now, they will not change. Right now, people are just going to be upset. They will take what we are saying personal, like as if we are talking about them. No, we are not talking about them. Ghana belongs to all of us, and I'm a Ghanaian. And it concerns me. So, my brothers and sisters, that is why you go to join us at Agobini Cultural Art. We have offices in where, Niema?
I wish.
What are
I
the
mean,
offices?
I wish.
Awoshi.
I mean, when we go to our Facebook page, Agubin Culture Art, you'll find our contacts, our address, our everything is there on the Facebook, number, website,
Agobini,
Cultural Arts.
Agobini,
Yes,
Agobini.
yes, sir.
Yeah. How many is there any union among the traditional dancers and drummers in Ghana right now? Is there any union?
Yeah, I mean we have the Ghana Dance Association, we have the Ghana Culture and Forum, something like
No,
that.
I'm saying, I'm just asking
Yes, there's
if
there's
there's
a
a
union.
union.
There's
Are
a
they
union.
all together? Do they meet and discuss problems facing them?
I cannot answer that question, but I know the Ghana Dance Association is there, and any group that belongs to that Ghana Dance Association, I truly believe they have a meeting. But what Agobini Culture Arts
What do
want to
they
do?
do? What do they do?
I mean, if it belongs to, I don't really know what they do because the Ghana Dance Association has been there for ages, and as we are talking now, nothing has been happening on the ground. You understand? That's why we need a new phase. We need a new movement that can speak to find out the issues, the problem, and the problem
Edibo,
that what we are talking here now.
Agobini Cultural Arts is what we've got. That's why we open offices in Ghana. The organization is located in Ghana. Even though some of us are abroad, the office is in Ghana,
People are working there.
and we have people who are working down there and organizing. We are a new organization, Eddie. That is why we all need to come together and plan together how we can go and help the situation back at home. The government probably is still the largest employer. If you are not hired by Ghana Dance Ensemble at Legon or Ghana Dance Ensemble at the National Theatre, then you are on your own. Like what so many of us have done for several years. We were either at Legon or not at Legon. But we try to survive. There are more cultural groups now than we had before in the country. I saw the number of cultural groups that was attending the central region, some workshop that the central region cultural arts center is doing. So many groups down there, and there are a lot of good groups. I know that in future we are going to be talking a lot about preservation of our culture. Some of us in the classroom have devoted ourselves to preserving the Ghanaian music and dances that we teach. But then there are a lot of good teachers around and terrible teachers. Nehemiah, we need to find some time to talk about that topic.
Yep.
Are you there?
I'm listening. I'm here. I'm listening. I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm Because I saw a very good program today.
Yeah,
uh,
we are
on
building
Facebook.
a story coming. We've not talked about
Mhm,
dance. As we are
mhm.
speaking, we are dancers, we are artists, but we've not touched the subject dance, what it means to be a dancer, even how to work as a dancer. But we are trying to build where all this started from, to know
All
ourselves.
right.
Like today,
Mhm.
today I've not really asked questions. My question that I prepared to throw for you guys, I have to put it down because the subject is coming by itself. I
Uh-huh.
want to know the atmosphere when you are a member of Ghana Dance Ensemble. And the reason why I focus on Ghana Dance Ensemble is that most of the people that work at Ghana Dance Ensemble, because they were not paying well, because they were depressed, because they don't feel like artists, most of them left the Ghana Dance Ensemble and formed their own groups. You understand? And it was the same thing repeating by itself. You understand? The way most of the leaders that from the amateur culture group, they also depress the same members. You have been depressed in Ghana Ensemble. You have got the chance and make your own group. You still depress other people. I could remember when I used to dance with the Kusune Ensemble. We danced on the stage, and after we finished performing, a white lady want to talk to you because she had demanded where you perform. But they will tell us not to talk to anybody. Just go inside the car, then we go. As an artist, you finish performing, you need to talk to the audience. You need to feel free. You need to show yourself. But they will tell you, go to the car, straight to the hotel. And all those kind of things. And a
Um,
lot of water has gone down the bridge. That's what we're talking about this
Let me
station.
talk a little bit about Ghana Dance Ensemble still.
Okay.
During our days
But
in
CK,
that dance hall,
before you talk about those stages, in which year do you join the Ghana Dance Ensemble, and what was your position, and why do you join the Ghana Dance Ensemble?
you know what? The Ghana Dance, even forgot what year I went to Ghana Dance Ensemble. Um, I was down there for several years, but
Wow.
I forgot. I left the company and left the African Studies in 1973 when I came to University of California at Berkeley, and I'm still in California.
Mm.
Uh, the Ghana Dance Ensemble then was the premier dance company. Let me say it like that. When you are a member of the Ghana Dance Ensemble, there is that honor, but not the fruit of money. Uh, Before doing that, I have done the whole amateur, what they call amateur group, help in founding some, help in building some. I was in a group called Ashedu Keteke Cultural Troupe with Mustafa Tetadi and George Kunu and all that. Then we formed Ajido Dance Company, not Ajido Pan African Dance Company, Ajido Dance Company. That was a professional company. We were being paid from a funding by some Americans. And as a matter of fact, we tested for the first time the freedom to be able to create, um, the freedom to be able to create and get paid well, drumming and dancing in Ajido. But as things were, we were a crab in a basket. In Ghana then, we were all crab in a basket. I'm not talking about Ghanaian, the cultural group situation, the cultural dancer. We were a crab in a basket. If one crab tried to get out of the crab to freedom, every other crab would just grab on their waist and pull them down. That's what happened to Ajido Dance Company. We were trying to get out. But then we were supposed to come abroad. The first thing that the Art Council has done was go and get and make sure that the PD, what they call it, the soldiers who overthrow Nkrumah, they just create laws like that. So there was a law that nobody can take take form a traditional company and take it outside the country. Sakakwe was the chief promotion officer at the Art Council. I remember when Sakakwe told me that we cannot travel. I said, why we can't travel? We are a private group. I said, that's exactly why you can't travel. Take a look at the law. So that's how the crab in the basket syndrome works. We cannot travel. When our costumes, drums, and this is were all already shipped to America, and we cannot leave the country. Those of us who were part of that whole group, Mustafa, George, myself, who is, and quite some few people who are still alive, we still went back into the whole depression. The man, what are we going to, what exactly are we going to do to be free? Are we going to live our life like this? Then George was the first to go to Ghana Ensemble. And then all of us ended up there at Ghana Ensemble. Because you're hungry. You stay under the tree at the art center. That woman, the daughter is still there. She fed us. We have a passbook there. So if we are hungry, I go down there. I don't have any money. She will sell me the food, but write it down. So when we make some money, we come and pay. I think I still owe her some money when I left Ghana. And when I came back home, several years later, I went to the art center and I saw the daughter, and the daughter looked just like her. And I said, hey, I owe your mother some money. You say, my mother? No. My mom don't think you owe her any money. Your mom was proud you left Ghana, that you left all this suffering behind. No, I'm not going to accept any money. I tried to pay the money. She refused and said, you know what? The work that you guys did without salary, that's the least that she could do. So living that hunger, you don't know where your next meal is going to come from. And going to somewhere, even though you are being used, you're living in depression, you can't express yourself. You express yourself, they fire you. First they suspend you, then they fire you. It's better than being hungry in the streets of Accra. I know Accra very well because I live in the street. I always told you guys that. I was homeless. I used to sleep at Independence Garden. Independence Garden was a very beautiful garden facing the old Parliament House, opposite the old Parliament House. Accra Community Center, which the Mausoleum and Nkrumah's Mausoleum and those things are there now. That's where I used to sleep. At Independence Garden. Beautiful garden though. I love the freedom. Over down there, I can do whatever I want to do. The only thing I don't have is a roof over my head. But I pull myself out of that to where I am today. I will never be homeless again. Never. That I don't even see the possibility of happening. But I was homeless as a drummer, representing traditional culture. I was homeless because that is all what I have. Nothing. And depressed. But it's more depressed when you've been paid some minimum wage. We were not minimum wage materials. We are real professionals. We were not minimum wage materials, but we were being paid minimum wage, even less than minimum wage. I just saw the minimum wage in Ghana got increased to what? Is it 26 cedis a month, a day? You multiply, maybe I'm calling, maybe it's even too less than 26 cedis. A whole day.
So you
So
you end up in the Ghanaian Association as a
Akobini,
yeah,
yeah.
can I excuse myself now?
Yeah, I think we have bring the program to an end very
I
soon.
have a program to attend to
Yeah,
myself.
yeah, we have
So
5 minutes.
see you next week, okay?
Okay, 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 okay.
Okay, thank you.
Before you go, just
anyway,
give
Eddie,
me.
bye bye.
Mm, mm.
Okay. Akobini, thank
Yeah,
you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I think Uncle Sigi, this
Niyama, when
yes,
I ended up at Ghana Dance Ensemble,
yeah,
I normally don't talk about my education.
yeah.
I have a PhD.
Mm,
Most people don't know that because I don't advertise my educational achievements.
mm,
Now, I like studying and writing about African culture.
mm,
If you go down to my webpage, you will see some of my dissertation
mm.
studies in African um, music down there at my website. I like writing a lot. I like reading a lot, but I like playing my drum. I am only happy when I'm on my drums. When I'm on my drums, it's like having a personal conversation with an old wise people because they left a lot of wisdom in the music and the dances. So that is why I feel more alive and comfortable. So somebody is going to ask, with all that depression, how did you manage to function? That's how I managed to function. On my drum, I'm a whole different human being, having a conversation. Now, I will still continue to study and analyze all the things that I know and play. Now, a lot of us traditional dancers don't want to develop critical thinking skills. So we can make a sense out of things that we know and doing. That's what I do. Every day I learn something. Even in my classrooms, I learn all the time from my kids that I'm teaching or the students at the university that I'm teaching. So I need to continue to improve my course curriculum, the way I deliver the information. So you have to continue to learn. Now, there are so many of us who I alluded to it briefly already. As soon as they leave middle school, 8th grade, then they think they finished their schooling. That term, they finished their schooling.
So
When
that
I'm
means
still learning.
you went to the Ghanaian Assembly with your PhD.
Yes,
Wow. So that means
I have to do a
you
PhD.
you get a position, but not just join the group.
uh, I did several things.
Mm,
First and foremost, I'm always a student.
mm,
I'm always a student, but I am going to drum, and I can drum. That I know.
mm,
On my drum, do you know what? At Ghana Dance Ensemble, everybody talking about a Husunu, who he was my brother, who was the chief drummer. He passed away.
mm.
Now, apart from Ofo Husunu, who was way older than all of us, at Ghana Dance Ensemble, the drummers at that day, he passed away. At that day, passed away. His elder brother Michael Who is then? You have Gideon, Nidao, Toby, Foley, Aloy. He is at the University of Texas. Those are drummers. Now, then you have I think that was the cream of the leadership of the drumming group. Before them, there was Kwesi Beru, who came to America sometime and taught at UCLA. But then the elite drummers, Mustafa was one of them before he left. When Mustafa left, he went into the whole community groups. That's the way I call what they call amateur groups. They are community groups who gather, who were hosted at the art center. The government does not fund the group. The government gave them nothing but a space to practice. That was all what the government gave them. As a matter of fact, by a slight this thing, they will come and even take the space away from them. Now, they behave more like the colonialists who came to take our culture away from us. And that is why they were not representative of Nkrumah's ideas. They were not. Nkrumah wants us to go back to tradition. To go, if you leave something behind and it belongs to you, you can go back and take it. You remember the whole Sankofa movement?
Yeah.
That's the African personality. There was a group even at the art center called African Personality too.
Yeah.
I remember all those groups. I mean,
Uncle
but
Sigrid, thank you very much to be part of this history. And I'm very happy that you went to the Ghanaian Ensemble by your PhD. The reason why I want to say this on record that I can see the passion and the story you are giving to us because you work with the Ghanaian Ensemble. And you know in and out. And you know how things were organized. I truly believe if viewers will listen and put their comment there to learn something from it and share this video. And I'm just pleading with the authorities who are leading the whole movement in Ghana that it's about time that we should let the artists, the people dancing for Ghana Ensemble at Legon and Ghana Ensemble at National Theatre, with all due respect, it's about time that we need to take good care of the artists so that we can bring the best out of them. We have so much stories, and all our stories are very, very bitter and painful. It's about time that we change that story to a joyful story. We cannot have professional dancers dancing at Legon knowing that they don't have a degree to be future leaders. We need to change something. That's why Gobini Culture Arts, we are calling for everyone to be on board. And we can do it. We can do it. I have never, since I started this program, every girls that I bring on my show have a story to tell. And the story end up sad stories. Our stories are very sad, but yet we build a country. But yet, what we are portraying on the stage is to show our ancestors what they left for us. And if Europeans will come and study our culture, history, and where it came from, that means there's something good into it. I'm also begging the traditional leaders, our kings and queens, that there's also look at the way that we can help those who are interested of promoting our culture, drum and dance. and to our new deputy minister. Now, when we are saying art and culture, not just only music, but we should rather look into the art. What about this young guy who living at this village, and all that he does, he want to play that seprewa instrument, that gonje instrument, that asrato instrument. Without not wasting much time, I will see you next week, Saturday. And please don't forget, next week, Wednesday, will be our last topic with my pioneers to end up this beautiful January. Then we'll go to July. Thank you very much, and God bless you. My name is Niyama Tukwenim. You can always call me Akwele B. Ama. Okay.